Dogs and cats living together. That's hysteria. Wow! Can you dig it? Can you dig it? Can you dig
it? What's up, freak shows, and welcome back to the Lucid Nightmare. I'm your host, as always, Jay Schatzer, and today I've got another oddball one lined up for you. It is Ruben Galandos Jr.'s 1989 weird flick. It is Don't Panic. And it's a weird one, but totally fun and pulls from a whole bunch of 80s films, 80s American films like Nightmare on Elm Street and that ilk. So we're in for a wild ride with this one. So let's not waste any more time and get right into this one. Here is Don't Panic. Don't Panic is a wacky and out-of-control late 80s Mexican horror flick with a constant penchant to slide into the strange and unusual, and an almost infinite tendency to slip into complete and utter absurdity. Pulling from popular American horror icons and franchises, and giving them a bizarre and mind-boggling twist, this ridiculous production abounds in the uncanny, making for a puzzling viewing experience, but albeit an entertaining one. Overacted, overtly cheesy, and entirely bonkers, Don't Panic is a confusing cluster of a flick, but it's one that will keep you engaged with its entirely unhinged atmosphere and undeniably outrageous 80s silliness. The film follows the troubled life of a young teenager named Michael, who, after messing around with a Ouija board with his friends during his 17th birthday party, unleashes an evil spirit named Virgil, who goes on a wild killing spree, slashing up innocents all in the name of fun. Cursed with witnessing these brutal murders as they happen, Michael struggles to uncover the identity of the killer, while at the same time desperately trying to keep his friends and loved ones safe. Is there a connection between the killings and Michael's steadily declining mental state, or has the entire world gone mad in a mass panic of bloody mayhem? With its unorthodox slasher approach, Don't Panic falls into the stereotypical casting trappings that seemed essential for this particular genre of films, that is, with a Mexican twist. Off-kilter and a little bizarre, the performances are odd across the board, yet lively enough that you just enjoy every minute of each and every performer's maddening portrayal. The possessed teenagers and traditional cinematic turds of this insane horror production are John Michael Bischoff as Michael, a troubled pajama-wearing weirdo who is inflicted by a supernatural curse of the strangest of instances. Gabriella Hassel as Alexandra, an attractive young woman who is the new girl at school, sporting one of the most miraculous unibrows this reviewer has ever seen. Juan Ignacio Aranda as Tony, Michael's best friend and unnatural prick turned Freddy Krueger wannabe. Roberto Palazuelos as John, the ever-so-typical school bully and strange unlikely ally to Michael and his hunt for the killer. Helena Rojo as Mrs. Smith, Michael's overprotective mother and stressed-out MILF. And finally, Jorge Luke as Lieutenant Velasco, a debonair lawman and police officer assigned to the grisly case. Although none of their performances can be considered to be great, the cast does a remarkable job in entertaining us to no end, as they jump headlong into the absurdity of the flick and never look back. Absurdity is the main thing to take away from Don't Panic. It's a ridiculously unusual cinematic creation, which pulls from so many outside elements, such as the Nightmare on Elm Street series and other slashers of the genre. Yet it does it in such a bizarre and freakish way that it makes the inspired elements almost unrecognizable and completely irrelevant compared to the madness that flashes across the screen. though admittedly the concept of Michael's character being able to view the murders as they happen, and as a helpless voyeur, is an interesting one, and the production milks those moments for all they're worth, often falling into campy and silly territory, which I personally loved. The decision to put a 17-year-old in children's pajamas is still a baffling one for me, and it is one of those elements of the film that truly entertain you with its absurdity and weirdness. The insanity in this flick is inventive and competently executed, coming off as more of a fever dream than a cohesive and logical series of events, making the bizarre nature of the production that much more enthralling and unquestionably entertaining. If you love 80s slasher films and you get a kick out of other countries trying to mimic the tone and atmosphere of American productions of the era, then you will absolutely enjoy this chaotic mess of a flick. In the end, Don't Panic is sensational slasher silliness with a Mexican mayhem rip-off twist. And there you have it, you pajama-wearing weirdos. That is the really strange and unusual slasher flick from the 80s and from Mexico. That is Don't Panic. Oddball flick to say the least, and just something you don't really see every day. The tone and atmosphere in this one is just off-kilter and silly, but completely entertaining like I said, and just a fun film to get lost in. But guys, that is it for me today. Hope you enjoyed that one, and I hope you like what I'm doing here. If you do, please like and subscribe. And if you have time, leave a comment below because I love hearing from you guys. But until then, I will see you all at the next movie review. Take care.